Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy second recording on this Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I have a word for you. Tap in. All right, guys. So I'm going to address a couple of emails. I'm going to try to squeeze them into this one recording. First, I want to talk about something that someone had. One of my friends, he's on here. He made a comment. He had sent me a message in my TikTok DMs, and he said something. He said that he can tell that I'm in a season of blessings and a season of rewards. And then I responded back to him and I said, to be honest with you, it's just the beginning. I feel it in my spirit, and I know what God has said to me is just the beginning. However, yes, I do feel like I'm in a season of open doors and abundance and double portions and all that good stuff. But the hell I've paid, the sacrifice, the obedience cannot be swept under a rug. And this is why I always stress, right? Because you got some people who will talk about just, manifestations and prosper this and prosper that and open doors and blessings. But they will skip over the whole fact that most people have to go through hell in order, not in order to receive them per se, but it's just more that the enemy will send so many different attacks your way, hoping that you will abandon post. And most people do. So I almost feel like when you're finally in that season of open doors and things like that, right? You're grateful for them, but you would be way more excited if you didn't have to deal with so much in order to get it. So now that open doors are here, it's like, okay, you're blessed and you're happy and you see God's hand, but it's still that little thing of, whoo, I made it. So again, I want to encourage you guys that if you're under constant attack, and also be discerning enough to know that when it's an attack versus God stripping you of certain things for your benefit. Because sometimes stripping and pruning can feel like an attack, but it's really not an attack. It's just, it's just that, some things got to be in order, right? Keep fighting, keep pressing, and don't let anybody tell you any lie. Whoever it is that you may be seeing out here in the world, whoever, celebrities included, whoever, if you deem to see this person life as a blessing in the sense of you think like they have it all or whatever the case may be, make no mistakes about it. They've been through hell. Point blank period. God doesn't have favors. A lot of people just don't make it through. They refuse to. And I understand why. Next. I had a young lady who emailed me and she's struggling. Maybe you guys can chime in the comment section as well to help your sister out. She wanted me to give my opinion, all caps opinion, on how do I believe God will instruct you when it's time to leave a relationship. I don't think she's married. I think she would have maybe specified that. And so, of course, I told her, it's different ways because, again, we all are different. We all have a different walk. We all have strengths and weaknesses. So it all depends. So I'm just going to share a couple of things. And again, if you guys have anything you would like to chime in, please do so. Again, sis, as I always say, go to your source first. Ask God to give you clarity, right? And make sure that you're sitting still and you're aligned to properly receive your answer and your downloads. But in the meantime, I'm just going to tell you some things that either I experienced or what the Spirit has said to me. All right. First, let's address the fact that why would we even be called to leave a relationship? 1,000 reasons, but of course, because most of the relationships we weren't supposed to be in to begin with. We chose these individuals or whatever. They chose us or whatever, right? And how many, come on now, let's be real. How many people choose like their first or second major relationship or long-term relationship based on spiritual principles? Right? How many people end up together? How many people get married because they quote unquote are in love, right? It's not even spiritually aligned, but they're in quote unquote in love. And now they're together for X amount of years, and now they figure out they have nothing in common that's going to be led to like spiritual principles, all that other stuff. But whatever. We end up with these people for the wrong reasons. Financial bondage, children, pressure, all this other stuff. So we're with the wrong people to begin with. All right. So God may have been clear to you and giving you downloads and nudges and convictions that this is not a person. And as long as you stay here, you're going to just keep your blessings on hold. You know, there are individuals who feel like just because God have blessings for us, it doesn't matter who's around us, what we're doing. If he has blessings, the blessings is for us. Yeah, it is for you. But you can put your blessings on hold. Point blank, period. If you have the wrong people, why would God bless you when there's someone or people around you who will benefit from that blessing? He doesn't even want to bless this person. So why would he bless you with it? You're not going to do the right thing with it. You're not even properly aligned, because the blessing he's going to release to you, he needs you to do something else with it, but you're going to go over here and do it with this nut butt over here. So there's tons of reasons on why God wouldn't send us blessings when we have the wrong people around us. Tons of reasons. You know, I just had a flashback. You know what? I'm not even going to speak on that because that might be a little too giving. But anyway, so, okay, you get your nudges, you get your convictions that God's saying, you leave this person, leave that person. All right. But you keep ignoring it for different reasons. Maybe you could be in love. You could have a soul tie. It could be a narcissist that keep you tied up in their trap. Right? You can be comfortable. You can be fearful because you don't know what's on the other side. This person could maybe already damage your self-esteem. You think no one else wants you, right? You got kids together, right? You got the mortgage together. So we can have all these reasons on why you don't want to leave. But God has been clear. And you know, let me tell you, you know when God is telling you something. We can ignore it all we want or attempt or act like we ignore it. But that nudge will become more and more profound. And then you know without a doubt. You feel it without a doubt. But you still just can't break away. Soul ties are hell if you've never had one. You just can't break away. So now, sometimes, I guess maybe, if you refuse to answer, God will leave you right there, but now you're on your own. Or, if he wants you bad enough, he's going to snatch that rug. So now that individual will leave you. That person may cheat on you. The relationship can just fall, crack, everything else to crumbles. And you try every single thing to make it work. Counseling, your pastor, you're this, you're that. You're trying everything in your power to make it work, but it just won't work. Either on their end, your end, or both of your ends. Nothing will work. Even if y'all sit down and have a meeting of the minds, things are good for a week. Things are good for a month. Boom, all hell breaks loose again. If you're not careful, you will eventually start to feel your mind slipping. because you're trying to force something to work that will not work. It will not work no matter what you do. So now on the flip side, you're hurting even more because if this person have cheated on you, left you, or just, acting crazy and just not coming home, whatever the case may be, not only are you hurting from the fact that the relationship is broken, you're now hurting because you have all these thoughts in your head about, oh, they're cheating on me, I've done this and I've done that, and oh, he or she just sat here, had a meeting of the minds, swore up and down they would change, and now I found out they were their side chick, their side dude. Now all that stuff, all that hurt, that pain is added on to the pain of the relationship not even working. And you're praying to God to make it work. After he told you clearly that this person is going to be very detrimental to your life. I'm trying to save your life. I'm trying to give you blessings that you should have long time ago. I'm trying to give you your kingdom purpose partner where you can see all type of manifestations. But you'd rather stay with this fool, spin your wheels on who ain't faithful, why you ain't answer your phone, why you ain't come home. Foolishness. Been there, done that. Promise you when I tell you. Foolishness. That's all low vibration. And when you're in it, you're in it. You don't feel like you're vibing low. You don't feel like you're being a fool. You're just trying to make it work. And it will never work. So like Pastor Blake's always said, you're going to either allow your heart to break this one time, or you're going to stay and allow it to continue to break over and over and over. And you better be careful that grace is not shift to the side in that process. When God has been clear and told you to leave a relationship, as hard as that thing is, even if you feel like you don't have the power to leave, because sometimes, again, we can be that, listen, them soul ties, sometimes you want to leave and you can't even leave. But if you ask him to step in, he will. Now, here's the kicker. When he steps in, it's almost like he will. You ever been to a storage unit and like when you up the unit, like you got to bend over in that little crack before it pulls all the way up? It's almost like he'll open up the crack, right? He'll open the door for you. So that's going to be your time. As hard as it is, he's going to give you a chance. As hard as it will be, he will give you the chance to move when that door opens, because then there'll be a certain kind of grace over you. And yes, you will be hurting. Yes, you will be tears and the whole 9 yards. But there's a grace period that he will give you, that grace will just keep you covered and just push you along. Even though you're hurting, it will push you along. But some people will have the opportunity when that door opens, and that opportunity can come in many ways. Maybe it's another argument, but you guys are not talking now for weeks versus days, right? This time they didn't come home for weeks instead of days. This time you got rooted and grounded information on the side chick, side dude. Like you got facts now, where you didn't have that before. Before it was just rumors or your thoughts or whatever, right? But now you have grounded facts. So now you got chance to take that move and just move along when that door is open. Or you're going to know that door is open and God has given you a grace period and you still want to stay. because you still feel fearful. You still think it's going to work. You still love them. You still can just, oh, I think I can change him or her. They're great people, but they just didn't have a father. Mr. Fix-It, Mrs. Fix-It. And then, if you don't move with that grace period, boom, the door shuts. And now you're stuck there and you got to figure it out. Now, if you decide to move with that grace period, again, it's still going to be hurtful. There's no way around that. It's still going to be hurtful. But with that grace period, it gives you chance again to move along. And then without a doubt, you will be thrown into isolation season. There's just no way around that. Of course, what do most people do? They tend to attempt to date again because it's like they're not healed. They're still hurting. So they're trying to find any and everything to soothe this pain. What comes back even more as temptation during this time? Because you're broken, you're lost, you're hurting. Every temptation that you've ever even walked away from, let it be drugs, alcohol, porn, whatever your soothing thing is. You know, last night when I was talking to the young lady who painted the picture for me, we were talking about the same very thing. And, you know, and she's like, you are so right. She said, I won't even lie to you, after I, had to bury my little brother, X, Y, and Z. She was like, I've never been that low in my life. She said, I'm still low, but I'm still connected. I know God still has a hand on me. And so I was like, it's crazy. Satan knows when we're at our lows because, well, he just knows. So he's going to throw all kind of things in there, all kind of stuff. And I said the same thing I was just saying, any addiction patterns, things like that. She's like, yes, he's done it to me. And also the wrong person. She said, and the wrong person, meeting the wrong person at the wrong time when you're at your lowest, that can be more detrimental than drugs, alcohol, or any other addiction. And she's absolutely right. So whatever person that Satan attempts to send to you during that time where you've been pulled away and snatched away, that is not somebody you want to mess with. Because, mind you, you're not even healed from what God took you from. So why would God send you anybody? So anybody that comes to you before you're healed, that ain't from God. And if it is, let's just say, in all fairness, if it is, that would not be someone you would have a romantic relationship with. Could be a true friendship, a platonic friendship. Right? And then maybe after you're healed, it may come together as a relationship. And I'm just saying, that's a possibility. But a lot of times when God snatches you like that, you need to be alone. He needs to have you alone, butt naked alone, raw, stripped alone. Because remember, you're coming from that long-term toxic relationships. You got all kind of soul ties going on. You got different spirits going on. Like, he got to get you back cleansed. You don't know your head from your feet at that point. He got to get you back cleansed. Once he gets you cleansed, you do your spiritual cleansing. He gets you back stable. And this is a process, honey. Ain't going to be no 5 weeks. Once he gets you back stable and where you were prior to this damaging relationship, then you enter your transformational season, all that stuff, and then God uses you how he always wanted to use you, X, Y, and Z. So that is my opinion on how God wants you to leave certain relationships. Again, no matter what you do, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. You can make it work, but it's just not going to work. So if he's nudging you and that nudging is getting more and more profound, connect spiritually. Go to your source. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.